Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rasyidah Binti Yusoff, final year student of Applied Science at Universiti Teknologi Marapelis Campus Arau. Today, I will be presenting the effects of laminarin on skin aging related enzyme, supervised by Dr. Ahmad Suhail bin Kazali. To begin with presentation, we will have a look at the table of content. I will cover the background of study, problem statement, significance of study, research question, objective of study, methodology, result and discussion, and also conclusion and recommendation. Skin is the largest organ, accounting for roughly 15% of total adult body weight. It serves a variety of essential roles, including defense against external physical, chemical, and biological threat, and prevention of excessive water loss. There are three layers that make up the skin, which is epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. The epidermis, which is the outermost layer, is a stratified epithelium composed mostly of keratinocytes, while dermis is the collagen-rich extracellular matrix that support vascular and adnasal structures underneath the epidermis basal layer. And hypodermis is a subcutaneous layer that lying below the dermis, which consists large of fat. Skin aging is a gradual process in which intrinsic and extrinsic factors influence skin texture. Intrinsic aging is a physiological process that causes thin, dry skin, tiny wrinkles, and dermal atrophy over time. Skin aging is a common problem in Malaysia and around the world. Malaysia lies on the equator and is exposed to extreme UV radiation annually, with a UV index ranging from 12.5 to 14.5. Malaysia beauty and health industry are rapidly expanding. Some of the skincare products that have on the market today contain chemicals. Chemicals in skincare products are incredibly significant because it affects not just the product safety but also human health and existence in general. Formaldehyde, paraben, sodium uracil sulfate, retinol ester are some of hazardous chemicals that can be found in the skincare product. There are two types of skin aging, which is intrinsic skin aging and extrinsic skin aging. Intrinsic skin aging is a physiological alteration that occurs throughout time. The most noticeable histological alteration in intrinsically its skin occur in the basal cell layer. Intrinsic mechanism in the skin convert between 1.5 to 5% of the oxygen consumed into ROS, making ROS an important component in intrinsic aging. ROS known as reactive oxygen species, which are formed by cellular oxidative metabolism in intrinsic aging. Next is extrinsic aging. Exposure to UV light is the major cause of extrinsic skin aging, contributing to approximately 80% of facial aging. UV radiation is a well-known and perhaps the most prominent cause of skin aging. The skin of human is exposed to a variety of wavelengths of radiation. UV radiation induces skin damage through mechanisms that finally result in overproduction of ROS, elevated collagenase and other photoaging enzyme synthesis and activity, timing, dimer generation, and inflammation. Other important factors in skin aging include increased expression of matrix metaproteinase (MMP) and decreased expression of MMP inhibitor. There are four types of enzymes that relate to skin aging, which is elastase, collagenase, tyrosinase, and hyaluronidase. Okay, first is elastase. Elastase is a chromatrypsin enzyme present in the dermis that is responsible for the breakdown of elastin, which result in the reduction of skin elasticity, causing skin dropping. There are four types of elastase, which are chromatrypsin-like, chromatrypsin, neutrophil, and macrophage. Next is collagenase. Collagen is the most abundant protein structure in the human dermis layer, which gives the skin its tensile strength. In a term of skin aging, the usage of compound that inhibit collagenase activity may be beneficial in avoiding skin elasticity loss and hence the aging process. Next is tyrosinase. Tyrosinase is a melanocytic enzyme that acts as a rate-limiting step in the pigmentation of melanin. Tyrosinase is a copper-containing monocygenase that catalyzes the formation of melanin in melanocyte. Lastly, is hyaluronidase. Is a HA-destructive enzyme that causes skin aging by causing a loss of strength, flexibility, and hydration. In hyaluronidase, when the hexosaminidic links between an acetyl D-glucosamine and D-glucuronic acid in hyaluronan are hydrolyzed, hyaluronidase can break it down into smaller molecules. Laminarin is water-soluble and includes exclusively linear 1,3-link D-glucose from numerous Laminaria species. Laminarin has a molecular weight of 5 kilodalton and is made up of branches 1,6-glucose unit with a branch 1,3-glucose side chains. Laminarin offers therapeutic potential due to its essential enhancements of antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activity associated with activation of immune response. The antioxidant effect reported are primarily for oxidative damage caused by reactive oxygen species and free radical. Laminarin contains a wide range of biofunctional properties including anti-tumor, anti-apoptic, anti-inflammatory, and anticoagulant. Laminarin can be utilized to active macrophage, which result in immunostimulatory, anti-tumor, and wound healing effects. The problem statement of this study is Malaysia is located in the equatorial zone, and the Southeast Asia maritime continent monsoon has a significant impact on the weather in Malaysia. On average, Malaysians are exposed to extreme UV radiation with a UV index of more than 11 annually. Malaysia's skincare industry has expanded due to an increase in personal well-being and appearance consciousness among Malaysian consumers. Malaysians spend about 3.2 billion ringgit Malaysia on the skincare product. Unfortunately, nowadays, available skincare product may contain hazardous chemical. Thus, there is a need for a novel, natural-based skincare product that are both efficacious and safe. Significance of the study is to discover the effects of laminarin compound towards skin aging. Thus, this study will help those with skin aging problem and will improve our current knowledge about the bioactive compound in seaweed that are beneficial for skin aging. Successful completion of this study will also boost the use of the bioactive compound found in seaweed skin aging treatment. This study will positively give impact to the economy as well as to the country. The research question of this study is, what is the benefit of laminarin towards skin aging? Next, does laminarin contain antioxidant activity? What is the effects of laminarin on tyrosinase? And lastly, how effective the laminarin compound help in reducing skin aging? The objective of the study are to assess antioxidant activities of laminarin and to study the efficacy of the laminarin compound in inhibiting tyrosinase enzyme. We hypothesize laminarin inhibits tyrosinase enzyme through its antioxidant activity. There are two methods that conducted in this study, which is DPPH radical scavenging assay and tyrosinase inhibition assay. In DPPH assay, 1,350 microliter of laminarin solution was mixed with 150 microliter of DPPH solution and incubated at room temperature for 30 minutes in the dark. The absorbance was measured at 517 nanometer using thermoscientific Genesis 20 spectrophotometer. For tyrosinase inhibition assay, 1,283 microliter of phosphate buffer was mixed with 112 microliter of laminarin solution and incubated at 37 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. And then the solution mixed with 90 microliter of L-dopa. The absorbance was measured at 492 nanometer using thermoscientific Genesis 20 spectrophotometer. The DPPH free radical scavenging method is the one of the method to determine if a substance, an extract, or other biological sources have antioxidant potential. For DPPH assay, in methanol solution, DPPH produce violet or purple color and fades to shade of yellow color in the presence of antioxidant. Based on the graph shown, laminarin exhibit a minimal radical scavenging activity on DPPH with only 2.7% compared to its positive control ascorbic acid show 92.95% at 0.15 mg per ml. Raja et al. Reported slight DPPH scavenging activity of laminarin at 13.93%. This is because they use a high concentration of 1 mg per ml of laminarin, whereas the current study used 0.15 mg per ml laminarin. The antioxidant of laminarin depend on the molecular weight of laminarin, where high molecular weight of laminarin has a higher antioxidant activity. Moreover, different seaweed species may have different predominant types of laminarin, which affects the antioxidant activity. In tyrosinase inhibition assay, L-DOPA was used as the substrate. Based on the graph shown, laminarin did not exhibit any inhibition activity on tyrosinase activity. Kojic acid served as the positive control, inhibited 85.73% of tyrosinase activity, indicating that the assay were correctly executed. The lack of tyrosinase inhibition could be due to the low concentration of laminarin tested, which was 0.15 mg per ml. Since this is a purified compound, it was expected that laminarin would inhibit tyrosinase at low concentration. In conclusion, skin aging is one of the skin problems affecting most people, which skin aging is a widespread issue in Malaysia and around the world. To sum up from this finding, laminarin exhibit a minimal radical scavenging activity on DPPH 2.7% compared to its positive control ascorbic acid 92.95% at 0.15 mg per ml. Also, laminarin also did not exhibit any inhibition activity on tyrosinase activity. Based on this finding, the hypothesis is rejected as laminarin neither exhibit DPPH scavenging activity nor anti-tyrosinase activity. It is recommended that the tyrosinase assay should be repeated with low and high molecular weight laminarin. Second, laminarin solution should be properly prepared so that a suitable concentration of laminarin can be tested to yield a good result of the antioxidant activity. Third, since laminarin has different varieties in terms of molecular weight, quantity of monosaccharide unit, and the degree and length of its branching in different species, it would be better to isolate and purify laminarin from several local seaweed species and test for their skincare benefit. Therefore, it is recommended to test this compound in other assays such as collagenase, elastase, and hyaluronidase assay. That is all from me. Thank you very much for viewing and listening to my presentation.